and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here from Federated Auto Parts Raceway. It's Peebly, Missouri. I-55 Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to set these drivers loose. It is the Dirt Clash Super Street Series here from the beautiful Federated Auto Parts Raceway for the Friday Night All-Stars about to get underway. Drivers been out on the racetrack. They have got their practice in, and we are ready to rock and roll here with our first heat race of the evening in just a few more moments. Eric L'Oreal. Hopefully, Eric, I'm saying your last name right, brother. If I'm not saying it right, make sure you let me know in the comment section. Break it down for me. How do you say your last name? As Eric coming in, dropping that follow over on the Facebook channel. Welcome into the Peacemaker family. Welcome to the Peacemaker crew. Eric coming in, smashing that follow button. Derek, Mr. Moore coming in, showing the love. What's good, D-Rock? D-Rock coming in, showing the love. Jeremy Sexton with the heart reaction. Jake Stefanski with the heart and the share as well. Mr. Hargraves coming in with the like on the stream, as my boy Frank Ranger says, what's up, Peace? What's up, Frankie? What's good, Mr. Ranger? How are you, brother? Coming in with that heart reaction as well. Vicky Schuller, Mama Schuller coming in with the thumbs up on the broadcast. Rob Stefanski and Craig Michael Deacon all coming in, showing the love as well with the reactions as we'll get ready to rock and roll here with Heat Race number 1. Heat Race number 1 about to roll out onto the speedway. Oh, baby, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be a lot of fun. Yo, Tina Sexton with the heart reaction. Brycey Bear coming in, showing the love with that share as well here on the broadcast. How are you, Brycey Bear? How are you doing tonight with the heart as well? Coming in, showing the big love here from my boy Brycey Bear up in the chat. As Heat Race number 1 loaded into the sim. They are down pit side, ready to rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to set these dirt street stocks loose here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway, and starting on the pole in the number 19J machine. That's a new looking ride. I do believe that is a throwback paint scheme here to his uncle's ride. That is Bryce Dickinson there in the 19J. To his outside of the Dr. Pepper number 41, that is Eric L'Oreal. And then we see down on the inside of row number 2, it is the Doghouse Chassis Sexton Racing. Sexton paint and body number 2020, it's Jacob Sexton. His outside, the iRacing iFlag DWR Martin Sports number 20 of Chad Puterbo. Then we see the 11 of Stephen Campbell, Zachary Lendy there to his outside, Dale Farnes there in the 7th spot, in Lane Phillips to his outside as we go green flag racing here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway. Quickly, the 19J of Bryce Dickinson at the front of the field here as he's got the John Schmidt paint scheme rolling here at the front of the field with the Friday Night All-Stars. Bryce leads us for lap number 1, but quickly he's got the 2020 ride of Jacob Sexton working down to his inside as they go door to door down across the line. Ooh, that's too close to call right there for those two drivers as they are absolutely right there. Elbows up, racing door to door, side by side here at the front of the field. Jacob Sexton looking to make the move to jump up here and take that race lead away once again down across the line. That will be a decisive aspect there for iRacing to call whether or not Bryce or Jacob are at the front of the field right there. As Jacob keeps getting these great runs down low, he may make that pass right there as Bryce gets a little bit loose out at corner number 4, and we get a new race leader officially here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway in Heat Race number 1 is Jacob Sexton to the point. Bryce Dickinson there in 2nd. Dale Farnes been able to work himself up and through the field here. Dale now up into position number 3, and Stephen Campbell works there in that 4th spot. Chad Puterbo working to his outside as the iRacing iFlag 20 ride works to his outside. Zachary Lundy there in position number 6 is Lundy there in that 6th spot as Lane Phillips in the HNL number 29 ride there in 7th, and Eric L'Oreal unfortunately going from the outside of the front row back to the rear of the field here as Bryce Dickinson has battled back and took in the race lead back away from Jacob Sexton. So move Brycey Bear back to the front of the field as Bryce Dickinson out in front. Jacob Sexton now back into position number 2. Dale Farnes tracking him down in a quick hurry here, as I do believe top three drivers will transfer through into our A main feature event. Everybody else will be going to our consolation races. So right now, Chad Puderbo, he's on the outside looking in here, knowing that he needs to get up on top of the wheel, knows that he needs to jump up and try to find a way to get around one of these 3 drivers up here in front of him, as he's the first car on the outside looking in. Stephen Campbell there in 5th. Lane Phillips back in 6th. Zachary Lendy and Eric L'Oreal rounding out our top 8 here on the speedway for heat race number 1, as Bryce Dickinson will see that white flag fly. So the Iowa Foam number 19, Jay Nice and Easy down through quarter 1 and 2 for the final time here in heat race number 1 through 3 and out of 4. They're looking for a big run underneath of them, but Bryce Dickinson will pick up heat race win number 1 here on the evening. Jacob Sexton there in 2nd. Dale Farnes in that 3rd and final transfer spot, as Puderbo, Campbell, Phillips, Lendy, and L'Oreal will all be going to the consolation race. As once again, top 3 transfer through to the A main feature event. Everyone else will go to the consies here on the evening, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here for heat race number 2. John Quill Jr. says, Tyler Jackson, you gonna run Bloomer Wrap? Oof, that's a good question right there. I'm not sure if he is going to be in the Bloomer Wrap. He might be. We'll take a look here. He is in the Bloomer Majula Say Speed Shop number 8 ride there on the speedway, but he's got that throwback paint scheme on here for the Trophy Shark ride, the D-Jack machine. Beautiful looking paint scheme there. In memory of Scott Bloomquist. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we lost a true legend earlier this evening, early mornings. Unfortunately, a plane crash for Scott Bloomquist, and we lost a true legend, a true, pillar in motorsports and dirt track racing, and our hearts go out to all of the Bloomquist family, friends, race teams that were around him and knew him, and everyone that has ever been touched by the truly one of the best, Scott Bloomquist out there, as we'll get them stacked up here for heat race number 2, as Jim Revis will lead us to the green flag. Landon Imhoff there to his outside. See the 08 of Brant Moon and William Hargraves there in row 2, with T-Jack Tyler Jackson and the number 2020 of Philip Sexton and Eddie Farnes bringing up the rear of the field there, as we got off to a little bit of a weird start right there. Landon Imhoff just did not fire there in the 86, and that really stacked up that outside lane, and that puts Jim Revis out in front with a solid lead here in the DWR iRacing iFlag Martin Sports number 57. D-Jack, though, Tyler Jackson in that Bloomquist ride, working himself towards the front of the field. Here's the Trophy Shark, the Majula Say Speed Shop number 8 machine, quickly working himself up into 2nd with Eddie Farnes right there in position number 3 on the speedway. Hargraves back there in position number 4 and looking for more, as Philip Sexton, who got shuffled back there on that early start, went to the back of the pack, and now working himself up inside the top 5. He's trying to hunt down the rest of these drivers here in front of him, as Landon Imhoff and Brant Moon battle back here for the 6th and 7th position. They make a little contact. Getting a little rough back there as the 86 and the 08 get together, but they both going to keep their cars pointed in the right direction. No caution flag on the speedway, as door to door here at the front of the field, T-Jack Tyler Jackson looking to try to take heat race win number 2, lead away from Jim Revis. Revis trying to battle back strong on the outside, but T-Jack to the point here in heat race number 2. So Tyler Jackson out in front, Jim Revis there in that 2nd spot now, as Eddie Farnes in that 3rd and final transfer spot here on the speedway. William Hargraves there in position number 4 and looking for more, as he's trying to track down that 21 ride. Philip Sexton right there with him, as Sexton has got up to our top 5 here on the Speedway. So a good run here for that 2020 ride, as he has been able to rebound from the early race incident on that initial start, as the 86 just did not fire off, and that really hurt that 20 ride as he went straight to the back of the pack. Had a lot of ground to make up in a quick hurry here, and here he is trying to battle with that 71 ride for the 4th position. But both these drivers know that they're on the outside of a transfer spot looking in, as they need to be inside the top 3 here to punch their ticket into the A main feature event. Right now, Tyler Jackson leading the way, starting to stretch out that lead more and more between himself and the 57 of Jim Revis. Is Revis a little farther back here, about 8/10 back of our race leaders? We see that white flag fly. Eddie Farnes right there in position number 3 as he's reeling in that 57 ride, getting close to his back bumper, knows that he's in that 3rd and final transfer spot. All he's got to do is head it across the start-finish line, as out in front, Tyler Jackson will pick up heat race win number 2 here on the evening. Jim Revis there in 2nd. Eddie Farnes coming home in that 3rd and final transfer spot here in heat race number 2, meaning Sexton, Hargraves, Imhoff, and Moon will all go to our consolation races. Papa Mike in the house. Papa Mike says, great job, Bryce. Papa Mike is proud. Heck yeah. Papa Mike coming in, showing the love here in this one. How are you, Papa Mike? As Bryce says, might have to keep using this car. You might have to, brother. You might have to. Matt Fletchell, my boy Matty, coming in, showing the love. How are you, Mr. Fletchell? Says, hey, girl. Hey, Matty. What's good, my dude? What's good, Mr. Fletchell? How are you, brother? How you doing today? John Quill says, let's go, T-Jack. Yes, Sirski, a great run right there for Mr. Tyler Jackson. Papa Mike with the congratulations there for T-Jack as well. Mama Schiller was cheering on that 57 right to Jim Revis. Luckily enough, Jim was able to, he wasn't able to pick up the win there in heat race number 2, but he was able to put himself into the show here straight through into our A main feature event, as he was there in 2nd. His top 3 transfer through. The rest of the field goes to the consolation races, and you don't probably want to be in these consies, man. These are going to be pretty stacked consolation races, as we'll get ready here for heat race number 3 on the evening. Heat race number 3 loaded into the sim, starting on the pole in the Sunrise Racing number 15 ride. It's the Steve's Lawn Care Machine. It's Muscles Steven Stefanski starting on the pole. To his outside is the Big D Machine, the DB34 Driving School, the Throttle Down Motorsports ride of Dustin Benton there in 2nd. The 2020 of Jeremy Sexton there in 3rd, as the 76 of Brandon Van Houten there to his outside. Then we see the 98 of Michael Farmer, Jeremy Aikens, and Lon Franks bringing up the rear of the field in the iRacing iFlag DWR number 10 ride, as we quickly go back to Green Flag Racing. Quickly, a little bit of a slide job and a crossover there in the 15 ride of Stefanski up into the outside fence. A little bit more contact a little farther back, as it looked like Michael Farmer and Lon Franks coming together as well. We'll take a look and see what happened between the 98 and the 10 ride here on the initial start, as we saw some craziness at the front of the field, as looks like the 98 going to slide up in front of the 10, and Lon just going to get in there a little bit too far, gets a piece of them, and they get turned around, and fortunately 98 pointing in the wrong direction. Steven Stefanski able to hang on here to a top 5 with that contact back there behind him. Unfortunately, going from the pole back now to position number 5 is not what this 15 ride wanted. As out in front, the battle for the lead rages on, as the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton will slide up and in front of the 34 of Dustin Benton. Benton trying to stay right there on his back bumper, waiting, trying to make a move to get back out in front. Jeremy Aikens holding on to position number 3 here on the Speedway, but the CrossFit number 76 ride right there behind him. It's Brandon Van Houten looking to try to jump up here, as the CrossFit Overton number 76 ride there in position number 4 and looking for more. A little farther back, you do see Steven Stefanski cruising there in position number 5, and Lon Franks at risk of possibly going a lap down, but staying out there, not giving up here on the race, as the 98 of Michael Farmer has taken his ride down pit side. Is out in front, Jeremy Sexton looking to pick up heat race win number 3 here on the evening, as play for Sheets coming in with the like on the stream. John Schmidt coming in with that thumbs up on the broadcast as well. How are you, John? Heather Curtis coming in showing the big love with that thumbs up. Chad Puderbo, Dan Stifler coming in with the heart reactions. Papa Mike with the heart reaction. Steven Stefanski, our boy Muscles out there on the speedway, coming in with that like on the stream as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that follow and subscribe button. As Andrew Denmark says, let's go. I might be missing the Southern Street Stock Nationals, but at least I can still watch some awesome street stock racing here. Absolutely, Andrew. You can catch all of the amazing dirt street stock racing here on Peacemaker Gaming. As Tyler Christensen, how are you, Tyler? Tyler says, hi, how are you? I'm good, Tyler. How are you doing, my dude? As Andrew says, T-Jack gonna be the man to beat. And T-Jack is he's always a threat when it comes to whenever it comes to these dirt street stocks. He's always one of those drivers you got to keep an eye out. As out in front, white flag has been displayed. So for the final time, down through 3 and out of corner number 4, heat race number 3 is gonna go to Jeremy Sexton. So Sexton picking up heat race win number 3 here on the evening, as Dustin Benton there in second, and Steven Stefanski rebounding nicely for that third and final podium position, as that means Akins, Franks, Van Houten, and Farmer will all go to our consolation races. So we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here in just a few more moments. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit the like button on the stream, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we're going to get ready for our one and only consolation race. Yes, one and only consi, and it looks like everybody, luckily enough, everyone is going to punch their ticket into the A main feature event. Nobody's going to get sent home early, so they're all going to get an opportunity here to race for the checkered flag in our A main feature event. But we got to run this consi first. This is going to settle out a lot of starting positions, so where these drivers finish in this consolation race is corresponding to where they will start for our A main feature event. And at the same point in time, a lot of bragging rights and a little bit of extra learning, not only trying to figure out, the different driving styles of the other drivers out there on the speedway, but you can kind of figure out different lines, different ways to kind of navigate through traffic or around this racetrack to try to put yourself up towards the front of the field. As out in front, starting on the pole in that 20 ride, it's the DWR iRacing iFlag ride of Chad Puderbo, who's going to be starting there in that pole position. To his outside in the 2020 ride, that is Philip Sexton, as Philip will start there in position number 2. Then we see the DWR number 57 of Jeremy Akins going to be starting there in the 3rd position. To his outside in the 11 ride, that is the 11 machine of Stephen Campbell. Then we see William Hargraves back there in that 5th position. The 86 of Landon Imhoff will start to his outside, as the 29 of Lane Phillips will start there in the 7th spot. He'll have the 01 ride of Zachary Lendy to his outside. The 08 of Brant Moon will start there in 9th. He will have the number 41, I do believe, starting right there behind him, as we are missing Lon Franks and Michael Farmer here for the start of this feature event. So looks like we already see Lon Franks down pit side. He'll get rolling from pit road here once we go green flag racing, as the pace truck makes the hard left-hand turn down pit side, and we see the green flag fly here in our first and only consolation race of the evening. Each and every one of these drivers will get the opportunity to race in our A main feature event. So right now, this is nothing but a learning experience and a little bit of bragging rights on the line. Same with a little bit of positioning here. If you start towards the front of the field or want to start a little closer, you gotta get towards the front of this consolation race. So drivers, when you look through the field here, drivers like Lane Phillips, William Hargraves, they're going to be cars that I'm going to assume they're going to try to push themselves towards the front of this pack. They're going to have a lot of fast cats to try to get up here and make moves around, but they're 2 drivers that are going to be tough to beat here this evening. Going to be 2 drivers that are going to be in contention all evening long up and towards our top 10. So the better starting position they can get, the better chances they have at a good finish here this evening, as they don't want to be stuck stuck too far back and have to pass too many cars to start this feature event. As you see the 20 ride of Chad Puterbo getting up a little bit too high here as he has given up that race lead to Philip Sexton. So Philip Sexton is out in front as Kendall says, okay, but which Sexton is this? This Sexton out in front is Philip Sexton. That is Philip Sexton at the front of this one. So Philip's in the gray and yellow 2020 ride. I do believe well, there's 3 of them, so we're always on our tippy toes, but we're just trying to color code them and try to remember them that way. It's not an easy job to do out there, that's for certain, as they definitely keep you on your toes, and there's a lot of other 20 rides out there in the field as well, as Hargraves there in the 71H rolls in position. Number 2 is the 11 ride of Stephen Campbell, works down to the inside of the 20 ride of Chad Puterbo, as Puterbo in the DWR number 20 machine rolls to the outside here, trying to hang on to position number 3 as Jeremy Aikens and Lane Phillips right there ready to pounce. Phillips now working himself up inside the top 5 here as Brandon Van Houten trying to join this battle, as you can throw a blanket over our 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place drivers. They're on the speedways. They're all right there in a dogfight through the middle of this field. Zachary Lendy a little farther back in the 0-1 ride there in position number 8 with Eric L'Oreal back in the 9th spot. Landon Imhoff there in 10th. Then we see Lon Franks and Brant Moon rounding out our top 12 here on the field, as Michael Farmer unfortunately not joining the field here for this consolation race. So Farmer down pit side, not jumping out onto the speedway, but should be able to still join in on the fun for our A main feature event. Is out in front. Here comes Hargraves. Hargraves and Philip Sexton battling here door to door at the front of the field. Hargraves looking to try to jump up and pick this B main win up here on the evening, but Philip Sexton trying to hold him off and keep his 2020 Doghouse chassis number 2020 ride here at the front of the field, as these drivers duking it out there for the top spot. A little farther back, you do see Steve Campbell finally clearing the 20 ride of Chad Puterbo. So Puterbo back to 4th as the 11 ride there in 3rd, as the white flag has been displayed. So one more time around, Philip Sexton with a big run here down through quarter 1 and 2. He'll lead us for the final time here in this consolation race down through 3 and out at quarter number 4. The 2020 of Philip Sexton will pick up our consolation race win here on the evening. So our B main winner right there in that 2020 ride, as the rest of the field rolls up behind them, gets stopped on the racetrack, as they are all going to jump back out onto the racetrack here for a quick little warm-up session. They're going to get a little bit more practice, a little bit more time to make sure that their cars are absolutely set up perfect here for this feature event. As a little warm-up session will come out to play, and then we'll jump right into our A main feature event, as Junk Will says, doing good, just relaxing and getting ready to go home next weekend to spend time with the new little we have. Wait, John, did you have another baby? Did you have another kid, my dude? Congratulations on that one, homie. Congratulations on that. That's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, brother. As we get ready to rock and roll here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit the like button on the broadcast. Make sure you guys go check us out on all the different platforms that we are currently live on, as we are currently live not only over on YouTube and Facebook, but we're also live over on Twitch as well. If you guys haven't checked us out over on our Twitch channel right now, if you subscribe, resubscribe, or gift a subscription over on our Twitch channel, you will earn yourself in a 3 months of Apple TV for free. All you gotta do is subscribe to our Peacemaker Gaming channel over on Twitch, and Twitch drops will allow you to get a free 3 months of Apple TV, which is absolutely insane. Such a great deal right there. As you see these drivers lined up on the front straightaway here, they're gonna go 4 wide and fancy here as a bit of a beautiful thing here for Scott Bloomquist, in memory of Bloomquist. They're going to go 4 wide and fancy. All these drivers are going to jump out onto the racetrack here in this warm-up session. They're going to roll around the speedway here, and that'll get them ready to rock and roll for our A-main feature event. Is Joe D coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube. Says, what's up, Joe D? How are you? Coming in, showing the love here in this one. As we'll get them stacked up here. 4 wide and fancy for Scott Bloomquist. May he rest in peace. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to all of his friends, family, and racing fans worldwide, as he was such a pillar, such an amazing man, and such a driving force in dirt track racing and all things motorsports. He'll be truly missed by many people, millions of people worldwide, and racing may never be the same without Scott Bloomquist in that late model rolling out there on the speedway. And man, it's going to be tough to not have Bloomer out there battling with all those drivers in the World of Outlaws and XR series and every other series that he goes to. Man, it's going to be sad not having Bloomer be with us here anymore, but our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family, and may he rest in peace. As the Dirt Clash Super Street Series Friday Night Lights paying respects here to one of our follow racers here, as Scott Bloomquist unfortunately passing away this morning. Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, man. Bloomer, may you rest in peace, my dude. May you rest in peace. And this is such a beautiful thing. Drivers just paying respects worldwide. We've seen it constantly here since early on in the morning. We've seen people posting, so many, great pictures and memories and everything else, and stories about their times meeting or hanging out or racing with Scott Bloomquist. And it's heartbreaking to know that he's no longer with us. These drivers are going to get rolling here on the speedway. Warm-up session is underway, so they're going to get some time in here to quickly work on their cars, work this racetrack in, and get ready to go, as our 4 wide and fancy salute there for Scott Bloomquist, man, is beautiful thing right there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys want to pay tribute as well, let's get some rest in peace Bloomquist up in the chat right now. R.I.P. Bloomquist up in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Bloomquist. Man, that's so sad, man. So sad. We wish he was still with us here. Get the hashtag R.I.P. Bloomquist up in the chat right now, ladies and gentlemen. Mama Bear says, very sad. He is a legend. He is definitely a legend. And Peggy Hargraves with the Bloomquist as well. Yes, the GOAT, the American badass, the bad boy Scott Bloomquist. Bloomer. Yeah, Bloomer was, he was a bit of the badass, man. He was for a long time. You loved him or you hate him, but I feel, later on in his career, more and more people really started to love him, man, and there was no hate in his heart or anything else. And I feel like so many people around dirt track racing, that maybe early on didn't quite like him, didn't like his attitude or his driving style, but as he continued to, learn and get older himself, man, he flourished and became a fan favorite at every single racetrack he ever stepped foot on. And gonna be this is a sad day for certain, as Jacob Sexton coming in with the like on the stream. Mama Bear coming in. Hello, my boy Aaron. Hello, Mama Bear coming in with that heart reaction as well. Dave Morgan, James Beavers, Panky Hargraves, Clark, Denver Willman coming in as well with the reactions. Garrett Marshall, my boy Garrett coming in, showing the big love, as well as Black Phoenix coming in with that heart reaction on the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys came here for a show. Well, here you go, as we're going to get ready for our A-main feature event, as our A-main is about to get underway here, as Vicky Schiller says, looks very nice, guys. Yeah, looked very beautiful, man. That was amazing. As Bloomer, definitely the GOAT. Definitely the GOAT. Rest in peace, Bloomquist. As Mama Bear, I'm 15 minutes away from their farm right now, where I'm parked. Oh, brother, that would be crazy. Go Brandon Van Houten. Go number 76, says Denver Willman, as he comes in, cheered on that 76 ride, as Bryce is ready for my lap of fame. Listen, brother, we don't want to see you go from hero to zero here. We want to see you stay up in the penthouse all evening long, but you're going to have your work cut out for you, as starting on the pole in the number 19J, that is Bryce Dickinson. To his outside in the 822, that's T-Jack Tyler Jackson. Starting in position number 3 in the 2020 ride, the black, red, and purple machine, that is Jacob Sexton. To his outside in the pink and Jacob is in the pink and black 2020. It is Jeremy Sexton in the purple, red, and black 2020 ride there in row number 2. Then we see Jim Revis and Dustin Benton there in row 3. Eddie Farnes and Dale Farnes there in row 4 as we see the 15 of Steven Stefanski and Philip Sexton rounding out our top 10 on the speedway. Hargrave, Stephen Campbell, Lane Phillips, Chad Puterbo, Brandon Van Houten, and Jeremy Aiken, Zach Lendy, Eric Loria, Lon Franks, Landon Imhoff, Brant Moon bring up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as the Unleash the Rage number 19J of Bryce Dickinson leads us down the back straightaway, down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. It is all Bryce Dickinson here at the front of the field as he leads the opening lap here of the Friday Night Lights powered by the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. As Dickinson out in front but trying to hold on and hold off that number 822 with Tyler Jackson. As T-Jack works down to his inside, T-Jack trying to jump up and work himself around the 19 ride of Bryce Dickinson. Here comes Jeremy Sexton there in position number 3. Jacob Sexton still holding on to position number 4 as we stay basically side by side here throughout our top 10. Top 12 is a little 3 wide outside the top 10 here. Hargraves getting bounced down towards the inside fence right there. Unfortunately loses a couple spots there on the speedway, but still rolling out there in the 14th position. But at the front of the field, still door to door here for the top spot. Bryce Dickinson leads the way. T-Jack rolling the inside lane to perfection, but the 19 ride starting to work out in front just a little bit farther, starting to find a little extra speed over top of the 822 ride. So out in front, Dickinson leads the way as T-Jack there in second. He's got the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton right there behind him, is almost 3 wide back here behind him. Jacob Sexton up on the high side. You see the 34D is there 3 wide down the back straightaway. Dustin Benton, the big D machine, the orange and black right there in the middle as the yellow, pink, and blue 57 of Jim Revis down to his inside. This is a great battle right here for position number 4. Things are going to get very tight there off of quarter number 2 as it looks like the 2020 and the 57 are going to be able to make the pass around the 34 of Dustin Benton. Ben going to have to hang on and hope for the best here as here comes Eddie Farnes and Dale Farnes both looking down towards his inside trying to get underneath of that 34 ride. They had a little contact though off of quarter number 2. That's going to slip off the 27 ride as unfortunately Dale Farnes slides back here now into the 10th position as he's got Steven Stefanski working down to his inside. Here comes the 11 ride of Stephen Campbell right there as well as a pair of Stevens trying to work themselves up through the field here now into the 9th and 10th position as it's a dogfight all around the speedway as out in front we get a new race leader down the back straightaway. Out in front it's Jeremy Sexton. Jump up and taking this race lead away from the 19J of Bryce Dickinson. Brycey Bear hanging on though to position number 2. He's trying to stay right there on the back bumper of that 2020 ride as we still have a lot of laps left to go here in this one. Only lap number 13 out of 50 here, ladies and gentlemen. So we still got a lot of time, a lot of laps for these drivers to navigate themselves around the speedway. It's a lot of time to make mistakes, run into issues. You got to mind your P's and Q's. You got to make sure you keep your foot in the throttle and make sure that you aren't spinning that tires too much out there on the racetrack. You don't want to burn up your equipment too early. You want to leave a little bit left in the tank, and I feel like that may be something Tyler Jackson is starting to do right now in that 3rd spot. Roll the inside lane a little bit easier, just being a little bit easier on those tires, trying to keep that right rear kind of underneath of you, trying to keep it a little bit better percentage here to have that extra grip late in the race where some of these other drivers that are battling going up onto the high side using the slide job lane are using up their tires a little bit more than what some of these drivers here towards the front of the field may be using. Even some of the drivers a little farther back, when you look back here and see that 71H of William Hargraves, he's kind of just rolling the inside lane nice and easy, keeping that car smooth, not trying to make any mistakes out here on the speedways. We do see a caution flag. Contact, around goes Hargraves. Oh, baby, he just got clipped there as Steven Stefanski came back down the racetrack and got a piece of him right there. But we did see like Lane Phillips, Eddie Farnes, all kind of getting collected here in this one as the 08, the Me Machine, the Shades of Ricky Bobby Ryan, unfortunately going a lap down here, and he may play a hand here in this one, is out of quarter number 2. They just get 3 wide. They get tied together. Jim Revis coming up the racetrack, unfortunately goes around here over the nose of the 2020 and that 08 ride. At the same time, we saw the 21 go down the racetrack and into the inside fence, and we see a lot of drivers get some damage right here. Heavy contact for Jim Revis, heavy contact for Lane Phillips, heavy damage for the 08 ride as well, as we'll take a look here at Eddie as well on the speedways. He was down low underneath of this, and I think the 34 of Dustin Benton just trying to get down and out of the way here as he was kind of right in that battle. Get a great look at these drivers coming together. You get some damage himself getting into the back end of that 2020 ride, but comes down the speedway, unfortunately just kind of cuts the nose off of that 21 ride, and Eddie Farnes goes down into the inside fence there. You see the 15 of Steven Stefanski get up into him. You see the 11 ride, the other 2020 of Philip Sexton also getting some damage. And then we saw that 15 and the 71 come together there out at quarter number 4 as a lot of contact and a lot of tore up race cars here down the back straightaways. Things were very, very tight here around the speedway, man. These guys were not giving up. They were not backing down out there on the track. Each of them running super hard out here, and unfortunately, good hard racing sometimes leads to big hard wrecks out there on the speedways. We go right on board there with that 57 of Jim Revis. Heavy contact there for Jumbo Jim out there on the speedway as the old man, the grouchy old man, unfortunately might be a little bit more grouchy after that one. We'll take another look at it here as he just kind of slides up the speedway here, and unfortunately they were 3 wide, and I don't think he was expecting that. And oh man, heavy hit right there for the HNL machine of Lane Phillips, as well as Phillips kind of just rolls into this one. Kind of really didn't have much of a choice but to just shoot for the high side here, and as he does, just nowhere for him to go. Heavy contact, heavy damage there for a lot of good competitors. As we will go back to green flag racing as quickly. A great restart there for the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton as Sexton back onto the loud pedal here, up and through the gears, trying to run away with this one as T-Jack Tyler Jackson rolls there in position number 2. Bryce Dickinson sliding back now to that 3rd position, but he's got that 34D of Dustin Benton working down to his inside. Here is the big D machine up into position number 3 as Bryce Dickinson slides back there to position number 4. Jacob Sexton, Dale Farnes there in position number 5 and 6 on the speedway, as here comes the 2020 of Philip Sexton there in 7th. Hard race up there in the 8th position with Stephen Campbell and Lon Franks rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Franks started deep in the field here. He's up 8 positions right now, rolling in the 11th position as Steven Stefanski able to work himself back around that 10 ride here for that 10th position, but up 8 spots on the speedway for Lon Franks in the JRE iRacing iFlag DWR ride. He is currently our hard charger on this evening as, man, Franks is up 8 spots, working himself up and towards the top 10 here, and he may still have lots left in the tank for the 76 ride of Brandon Van Houten getting a great run there to his outside. There you see Chad Puderbo now working to the inside of that 10 ride. Eddie Farnes trying to work himself back towards the front. The 57 of Jeremy Aikens and Jim Revis right there, pair of the DWR rides there together, as we do see caution flag number 2 coming out as Jacob Sexton turned around here on the front straightaway. One of our top 5 drivers battling out there on the speedway, going to go for a loop-de-loop here as looks like the bottom side really starting to come alive. The high side starting to fall off ever so slightly in the 11. Oh man, the 11 just gets in there a little bit deep. They kind of continue to beat and bang down through corner 3 and 4, and unfortunately, unfortunate break right there for the 2020 ride of Jacob Sexton as that is the 11 machine of Stephen Campbell who gets a piece of them right here. We'll take a look at it, take another look here and see just the contact, just how much it takes here when it's this slick. Just a little bit of contact is enough to really get these cars completely bent out of shape. There's the initial contact right there through corner number 3. You see the 11 get sideways, the 2020 get sideways, the 15 coming in with a whole head of steam there. Unfortunately, gets a little piece of that 11 ride, continues to bend him out of shape. I think without that contact, they both might have been able to save it, but Unfortunately, one driver does go around. It is the 2020 of Jacob Sexton. Parked there on the bottom side of corner number 4, and that brings out caution flag number 2 here on the speedway as Jeremy Sexton out in front, going to get ready for the green flag. So our second restart here of the evening after our second caution flag, and we go back to battle here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway. The Federated Auto Parts Speedway putting on a great show here for us in the Friday night lights as these drivers duking it out here through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. Jeremy Sexton will lead another lap here, so 22 laps left to go in this feature event. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cheer on your favorite drivers as we're going to crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. As the caution flag is displayed here, yellow flag coming out during our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here. We'll take a quick look back and see what happened here to bring out our third caution flag here on the day. So our third caution flag will be displayed. We will take a look and see as it looks like Zachary Lendy possibly running into some issues, possibly Lando Imhoff in there as well, as we'll take a look here as Eric L'Oreal, the 0-1 coming together, puts the 0-1 kind of turned around. Lando Imhoff gets right in there, gets a big piece of lots of debris on the speedway, and you see the 86 ride right there get stopped on the start of corner number 1 as our race leaders were about to go by him. That brings out our caution flag. So third yellow flag on the speedway, a quick one as the crews will go to work. They'll try to get those cars back out onto the racetrack. They'll get all the debris cleaned up, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, and we'll continue on with our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite driver as we get ready to go back to green flag racing and back to our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here on the evening. Caution flag on the speedway, big one right there that you guys got to see live as a lot of drivers just get piled in there in a bunch of torn off race cars again down through corner number 1 and 2, as this one may need a little bit longer of a caution flag as there was a lot of contact, a lot of battling out there on the speedway, and that will bring a close to our Maker Gaming crank it up here on the evening as our crank it up will come to a close here as these drivers putting on an absolute amazing race. As Papa Mike says, the curse is back. Listen, Papa Mike, don't bring the curse up. We don't even want to talk about the curse, okay? We don't want to bring that or speak that back into existence as we will take a look and see how this all got started as we saw a lot of contact here. A lot of beating and banging and battling deeper in the field here. Let's see if we can get a look at it as these drivers were battling hard here, man. They were absolutely all over top of each other, and I think down through quarter number 3, you see that contact right there between the 27 and the 10 Ryan. Gets the 10 of Lon Franks up into the 21 of Eddie Farnes. That gets Farnes turned around, and then the 2020 of Philip Sexton gets into the 27, and then from that point on, it's on like Donkey Kong. You see the 10 right and the 15 down low coming together, but then you see Leighton Phillips slide up into it. Jacob Sexton, we see Philip Sexton right there in the middle of it. Overton going around. The 11 getting a little damage there, as well as the 57 there. That is Jeremy Akins tied up in that. Eric L'Oreal in the 41, also getting quite a bit of contact into this one here as well, as this one kind of played out in a quick hurry, man. We saw a lot of contact, a lot of tore up race cars right down here in corner 1 and 2 as everyone just kind of piled in there. And unfortunately, a lot of tore up equipment as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll. We'll go back to green flag racing as Jeremy Sexton with another good restart as he continues to lead the way. So Jeremy Sexton out in front of the field, showing these drivers how to get it done as the laps continue to click down here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway. We see only a few more laps left to go as the caution flag does come back out here again. So couple of late race caution flags as the yellow flag coming out here. Once again, we will take a look and see what happened as it looks like more contact, more carnage, a little deeper in the field. I think, I'm not sure if it was Jacob Sexton coming back onto the speedway. What might have happened here is trying to take a look and see where maybe someone's went around or someone's ran into issues. I don't really see any, but yeah, I'm not sure what that caution flag was for, but the yellow flag does come back out. So we will stack them up, rack them up, get ready to try that one all over again as the field is starting to run a little thin here. We do got a lot of drivers down pit side, a lot of drivers that have ran into issues here deeper in the field, but at the front of the pack, it's still Jeremy Sexton trying to hang on to this race lead. Right there behind him, you see that 822 of Tyler Jackson, Dustin Benton there in 3rd. Then you see William Hargraves and Bryce Dickinson there in 4th and 5th. Steven Stefanski, Stephen Campbell, Brandon Van Houten, Eddie Farnes, and Jeremy Akins are top 10 on the speedway as we go back to green flag racing here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys have been enjoying the racing action here this evening, make sure you hit the like button, hit that share button, hit that follow, and subscribe as we see only 9 more laps left to go here on the evening. 9 more laps in. Look at them battle here at the front of the field. Almost 3. Gonna try to take it 4 wide right there. Was that 34 and the 71 H.A. Hargraves. They're right there ready to bounce. But T-Jack, Tyler Jackson around the outside will make the move and take this race lead away. So T-Jack finally to the front of the field as he's looking to try to put that Scott Bloomquist inspired number 822 up in victory lane. Is down across the start finish line. He will click off another lap here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway, Peebly, Missouri, I-55. As 7 laps left to go, 6 more this time by the start finish line. Tyler Jackson out in front as Jeremy Sexton trying to hold on to position number 2. Dustin Benton there in 3rd as William Hargraves and Bryce Dickinson back there in 4th and 5th. Steven Stefanski trying to work himself up inside the top 5 as he gets very tight there through 3 and 4 as Eddie Farnes, Brandon Van Houten, Dale Farnes, Stephen Campbell are top 10 here on the speedway. You see Jim Revis back in 11th, Jeremy Akins, Lane Phillips, Eric L'Oreal are top 14 here on the speedways. Landon I'm off our top 15 out there on the racetrack as T-Jack continues to lead the way as right there behind him the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton trying to hunt him back down, trying to find some late race speed, but contacted a caution flag. Late race yellow here on the speedway as, oh no, Bryce Dickinson Hargraves, Dustin Benton, all collected here in this one. Steven Stefanski there, as well as a lot of our top 5 right there collected. We will take a look back and see what happened. As I'm not sure, it looks like maybe the 71H of Hargraves may have gotten in here just a little bit too deep, as the 34 of Dustin Benton through the middle. You see the 71 sliding it in there, trying to run a little bit more of a slide job lane, as it looked like the 34 was just trying to hold the middle. They make contact. Around goes Dustin Benton, nowhere to go here for Bryce Dickinson as he slams right underneath the back end of the 71H, then tied right in there with that 34 right. You see Eddie Farnes getting a piece of that as well as he drives into it, and more contact for the 15 as he goes right underneath of that number 71H. As man, tough hits right there for a lot of drivers up inside of our top 5 here on the speedway. It's just a little bit in there too deep for Hargraves, and it's going to mix things up here at the front of the field. It's the Precision Auto Bodies Throttle Down Motorsports. Number 34 goes around and stacks them up here on the high side of 3 and 4, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. I do believe within 10 laps in this race, we will see single file restarts here, so that may be a blessing in disguise here for Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack, he may be loving that one, is now right there behind him. Jeremy Sexton still in second, but Eddie Farnes up into third. Dale Farnes there in fourth, in the 76 of Brandon Van Houten, our top 5. Stephen Campbell there in sixth, with Jim Rempis, Jeremy Akins, Lane Phillips, and Eric L'Oreal will round out our top 10 here on the speedway. Steven Stefanski on the outside of the top 10 looking in, with Dustin Benton right there behind him, and Bryce Dickinson back in the 13th position. Then we'll see Hargraves and Landon Imhoff round out our top 15 here on the evening, as T-Jack sees that green flag fly as we go back to Green Flag Racing here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway. A green-white checkered finish here to settle things on our second race of the Friday Night Lights here at the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. Is down at a corner number 4. T-Jack will see that white flag fly one more time around for Tyler Jackson to pick up the win here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway. For the final time, down through 3 and out at corner number 4, it's all T-Jack in the Scott Bloomquist inspired number 822. The Alpha Shark is going to pick up the checkered flag here at I-55 as the Team CFM Esports Majula A Speed Shop ride will pull up into the Federated Auto Parts Raceway victory lane. Joining them right there in position number 2 is Jeremy Sexton and Eddie Farnes, rounding out our top 3 here on the speedway. But it's T-Jack, Tyler Jackson picking up the win and pulling this ride up into victory lane on the front straightaway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Tyler Jackson. Give it up here for the entire field, man. Put on a great show for us, lap after lap after lap, man. Put on a great race and a great performance for each and every single one of us to watch and enjoy out there on the speedway, and no better fitting way. The script was written there as the Scott Bloomquist inspired Spartan Transportation Majula A Speed Shop 822. Tyler Jackson ends up in victory lane here. Rest in peace, Scott Bloomquist, the absolute goat Bloomer. I think riding on board here with T-Jack all evening long. I know T-Jack has taken this one pretty hard. He's known Bloomer and loved him and everything else for quite a while. And I know he was earlier just watching a lot of Bloomquist, highlights and interviews and everything else, and really missing the zero ride of Scott Bloomquist here today, and picking up this win may make that sting a little bit easier here for him on the evening as well. What a fitting finish here on the evening. As congratulations, T-Jack, says Mama Bear. Bryce says, man, yeah, that was a tough one, Brycey Bear. You're looking so good, brother, so good all race long, man, all race long, looking so good. Denver Willman says, nice job, everyone. Denver coming in, showing the love here. If you guys have it, make sure you hit the like button, hit that follow button, jump up into the chat here as well. Let's see a hashtag 822 up in the comment section here for Tyler Jackson. 822 up in the chat, and let's see a hashtag Bloomer up in the chat as well. Let's get a hashtag Bloomer up in the chat here as well, as man, we're all going to miss Bloomer here this evening. And if anyone wants, make sure you guys do the exclamation mark followage exclamation mark and notify up in the comment section as well to see how long you've been part of the Peacemaker family, how long you've been part of the family here. As we'll get ready for our top 3 interviews here. We'll get ready to pull Tyler Jackson and Jeremy Sexton, Eddie Farnes up into the broadcast booth here in just a few more moments. It's Cody Andrews, Frank Fonda, Russell Harold, Jacob Sexton all coming in showing the love with the reactions on the broadcast. Saw Dave Morgan coming in with the like as well. James Beavers also with that thumbs up. Mama Bear with that heart reaction as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the broadcast booth here for some post-race interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a race, what a run, what a drive right there, man, as these guys put on a heck of a show. Here you go, our race winner, Tyler Jackson. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
Not much. T-Jack, man, what a run, what a race, man. Take us through this one as we saw a lot of great racing there at the front of the field, but looked like you just kind of bided your time there running up inside the top 3, top 4 here for most of the evening, and then late in this race you finally put that hammer down, used what little was left there on the outside lane to make the pass around that 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton. Put yourself up here in the victory lane in a beautiful paint scheme here, as obviously we talked about it throughout the evening here. You know, Scott Bloomquist passing away in that Scott Bloomquist inspired race car of yours, coming home in victory lane here this evening. A fitting script to end the night, man. Take us back through the evening and take us back through the emotions, knowing that you're able to get this paint scheme once again back up into victory lane on such a meaningful afternoon.
Yeah, I was at work this morning, and I don't know whose Discord it was in, and I saw that Reed and Millard's post, and you know, with everything this day and age, you don't know what's true and what's not. And, you know, I asked if it was real, and they said it was real. And I started hopping on Facebook, and yeah, it's devastating. That guy's been my idol and my hero in dirt track racing for as long as I remember seeing him the first time. Probably the first time was probably, I was probably 6, 7 years old, something like that. And it was back when he had the yin yang going and the white and green and black, and saw him down at LaSalle, come with have a Tampa days, and yeah, it was really tragic news. I probably only talked to him maybe 5 or 6 times in my life, but the few times I did talk to him, he actually talked to him after the races, and he was really a friendly guy. You know, that mystique and everything about him. A lot of people, I think, were nervous to talk to him or intimidated, but he treated me with the utmost respect. He actually listened to me when I talked about the race, and yeah, he actually listened to me like I was another driver, which was really cool. I'd never had another driver actually give you that undivided attention. You know, actually listening to what you're saying, not just thinking you're a fan in the stands. You know, so that's probably how the guy got so smart. He just listened to everybody and take a little bit from everybody, and it's probably how he got so intelligent. But yeah, it's devastating. There'll never be another guy like him. I mean, somebody could come along and win twice as many races and championships, but there'll never be another Scott Bloomquist. He was one of a kind, and yeah, it's a really sad day. We've had this paint scheme for a couple years, you know, so I just thought it was fitting to bring it out tonight and try to park it for him. And yeah, we had a good time. The race went well. I was trying to conserve tires most of the race. Thought I conserved a little too long. Dustin got by me there. I really didn't want to let Dustin by me, but that middle groove seemed a little bit faster than the complete bottom I was running. But once I think he keyed up and hit a caution, and I think he made a mistake, and it actually gave me second place. I was able to pick the top then, and once we picked the top, we just kind of started that slider line, and not a lot of people can run that slider line for some reason, but it suits my driving style pretty well, and yeah, we were able to finish it off.
Absolutely able to finish it off. A few late race restarts there, keeping things exciting. Back there behind you, as we saw a lot of beating and banging, a lot of battling, man. It was a very good, fun race there, and being able to watch you guys battle there at the front of the field. You know, you look through some of the drivers that were part of our top 5 here battling with you throughout the evening. When you look at Jeremy Sexton, you throw in Eddie Farnes there late in the race, but I mean Dustin was right there, Bryce Dickinson right there in that mix. Hargraves was getting up into that fight there at the front as well. And then even more drivers, throughout this race were right there ready to bounce, looking for ways to try to get to the front of the field here. But no one able to do it better than yourself here tonight, as you're able to make that late race move, put yourself at the front of the field, and hold them all off to pick up a big win here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway in the Friday Night Lights here, powered by the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. Tyler, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here on the evening?
Yeah, we don't need to thank any sponsors tonight. I just want to give a shout out to Chris Ferguson. I know him and Scott were good buddies the last few years, and I saw his interview earlier on Dirt or Flow, and you could tell it was really hurting him. So shout out to Chris and all Scott's family and friends and fans, and yeah, R.I.P. the GOAT. And it's going to be really rough rolling into Eldora next time I go as a fan. Tough day. It reminds me a lot of when Dale Sr. died, and if you're not part of this little dirt track community, you wouldn't get it. But to a lot of us, he meant a lot. So, yeah, we'll end on that.
Absolutely, brother. Definitely going to be a tough one. And as you said, brings up a lot of emotions and feels like a lot of when we saw Dale Earnhardt Sr. pass away, just such a pillar and such a, remarkable man in building, dirt track racing and everything else, man. He's definitely going to be missed, and it's going to sting for quite a little while here, but hopefully, maybe taking this 822 ride back to victory lane maybe eases the pain a little bit, knowing that maybe he was right on board with you there just a little bit with you tonight.
Yeah, it was really good just to get on here for an hour and get off of Facebook, and been teary-eyed all day. He's basically my hero since I was a kid. So yeah, shout out to everybody that watched tonight, and Dustin for putting the league on, the Stefanskis, and everybody involved. And we'll be back Monday, and hopefully be a little better day for everybody.
Absolutely, brother. We can't wait to see you back out there on Monday evening and see if we can find you right back up here in Victory Lane.
All right, thanks, Aaron.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Tyler Jackson as T-Jack in that Majula Safe Speed Shop 822, the throwback, in Scott Bloomquist inspired paint scheme there, picking up the checkered flag here on the evening. You can hear the emotion there, and definitely a tough one there for Tyler Jackson and all the friends and family here with Scott Bloomquist. Rest in peace, brother, as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher as T-Jack going to burn down the house here a little bit, going to do some burnouts here on the front straightaway and celebrate his win on the evening. And looks like he may be doing the Alan Kowicki Polish victory lap here, the backwards lap around the outside of the speedway. Absolutely beautiful to see that one as we see the 2020 ride coming home in position number 2. Jeremy Sexton doing a great job, as Jacob Sexton says at least one of the 20s could place. Yeah, one of the 20s found their way to the top 3 here this evening, as we'll get ready to pull Jeremy up into the broadcast booth here himself. Hey, Jeremy, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, Jeremy, man. A very well put together race here for you, man. You're able to keep yourself, for the most part, out of the trouble, out of all the contact and beating and banging that was unfolding back there behind you, as we saw you, took a little time, got yourself slowly but surely up towards the front of the field, made that pass around Bryce Dickinson, and then from that point on, you lead, 20, 30 laps of this race, doing a great job there at the front of the field, and all of a sudden, T-Jack just finds that outside lane on you there in those final closing laps and was able to make that move to get around you and kind of steal this win away from you, man, as you were looking very, very strong all evening long.
Yeah, I knew early on when we took off that he was conserving tires because I was having to let up a lot to make sure not to get into him. And I actually found the middle by mistake, just overshot the corner and caught it. And I was like, well, I can still run it and not push the car hard. So I went through there and it felt good. And I really didn't want to see some of them cautions, because at one time I know I over a second and a half lead, and I knew tightening them up, he was going to be coming on strong. And ultimately, his experience won that race for sure.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot of experience there out of the stable for Tyler Jackson, and just being patient, picking your time to kind of shrank out there, and he was able to time it here perfectly on the evening. But I think a few less late race caution flags, I think it might have been a different story. He even said so in his interview. He thought, just the way he was saving everything else, maybe he was saving too much and started to go a little too late there, especially after he saw Dustin get around him. But a couple of those caution flags, able to stack everyone back up together, allowed him to get those runs and that move to get back around you here on the speedway. So, I mean, a few less caution flags might have been a different story and might have still had this 2020 ride up in the top spot here as the checker flag was thrown.
Yeah, I'm happy it can be to run second actually to these guys that's been on here forever. I knew from racing with him at the Racing for Randy race that top slider line would come in at some point possibly. I even told my brother and son in Discord that I just don't know if I should try it yet, and he hit it and made it stick. So then I just followed him and tried to learn something. Super nice guy. Couldn't ask to get beat by anybody better, I guess.
Absolutely. Sometimes second place, there's nothing wrong with it, especially when we saw so many great talented drivers right there behind you trying to knock you off this top spot all evening long. To only let one of them by you and having that be Tyler Jackson, definitely not a bad day at the Speedway as Jeremy, you park it up here in position number 2 on the podium still. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here on the evening?
I'd like to thank you for doing the broadcasting. It's always great. My family can watch it, my wife, dad, and co-workers. Like to thank Dustin for putting this deal on. JC Floyd helped us a good bit getting up to speed since we're all really new to this. My son and brother both, we all put in a lot of time practicing together. Michael Olson also helps us a good bit. 5-6 always takes care of my wraps and gets them to me really quick, does a great job. And just my wife for dealing with me on this computer all the time racing.
Absolutely, brother. Well, a great run, a great job for you here tonight. Parking that 2020 ride up here in position number 2. Hopefully a little bit of momentum being built for you. Hopefully more and more trips up here into the Peacemaker broadcasting booth after, we see you now out here, battling twice a week, Friday nights and Monday nights. So more opportunities to find yourself up here in the broadcast booth. And maybe one of these nights will finally get you up here in Victory Lane.
Yes, sir. That's the plan. That's why I joined this, because I know it's pretty much the top guys in this class, and they got a good set of rules that they don't play any foolish stuff. So if you want to get better, you got to race with better people. I'm a firm believer in that from doing it in real life, and hopefully one day I can put it all together for the whole amount and not get passed at the end.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we'll be cheering you on and hoping to see you up here in Victory Lane. But, man, a great run, a great job here this evening, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here on Monday evening and maybe one spot better, keeping T-Jack back there behind you and putting yourself into Victory Lane with the Monday Night All-Stars.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations again on the second-place run.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher, Jeremy Sexton, as Sexton comes home there in position number 2 as we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher here on the evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the 21 ride of Eddie Farnes as Eddie comes home in position number 3. We'll pull Eddie up into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview. Hey, Eddie, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
Yes, sir.
Eddie, man, a bit of a wild one, a little bit of a chaotic race, especially throughout the middle of the field there. But, late in this one, you're able to dodge a couple of those ranks in front of you. And all of a sudden, you find yourself up here in position number 3 and trying to battle there with the 2020 rider, Jeremy Sexton, for the second position on the Speedway. But being able to bring it home in position number 3 has got to feel like a bit of a win after, seeing you guys battle out there, go from the front to the back, to the front to the back a couple times here on the evening.
Yeah, definitely. That first caution, I mean, stuff happened in front of us, nowhere for anyone to go. But that second one, I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden, I was around the top. The top was really good. No one else was up there, so I found it, and I was fast. I think for 5th. All of a sudden, I was sideways, so it was just like up and down all night. And one thing, I mean, we battled from the back again, got to, I think it was like 7th, and then another wreck, and we avoided that one luckily, and it put us in position.
Absolutely puts you right up here on the podium, and a great recovery afternoon and a great way to finish off a Friday evening for yourself here, Eddie, as you park it up here on the podium. And, you know, you got your, I believe, is Dale your brother?
Cousin,
That's right. But Dale
Yeah.
right there behind you. I mean, we saw you guys battling, you know, basically right beside each other, right from the drop of the green flag. You guys were door to door there, starting, I do believe, in the 7th and 8th position, and we saw you guys together pretty much all evening long, and being able to finish it off 3rd and 4th here behind, you know, 2 talented drivers like Tyler Jackson and Jeremy Sexton.
yeah, for sure, and it's always fun racing with Dale. You know, it's a little bit more competitive just because we are related, but that's how we always race. It's always side by side, clean. I mean, when we bump each other, we're always saying sorry or we're laughing about it. You know, that's the type of racing you want. So it's fun to do it with him. And yeah, I don't know. This Friday night series, it's my off day at work, so I figured why not sign up for it. And it's a stacked field, so finishing 3rd at my first night out, I can't complain. So.
Absolutely, definitely cannot complain about that. Keeping a lot of these fast cats back there behind you. Eddie, who would you like to thank here for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Yeah, all my real life guys, mainly. I'm just gonna shout them out. I've been off for a while, real racing, due to motor issues. So, Mountain View Plumbing, DOA Pro Wrestling, amazing embroidery and screen printing, Pry and Groom, pet grooming, everyone, all that real life stuff. They're also on my car here, but for this side of things, even Dale, I mean, he wants to always get on. So, him for kind of putting that pep in my step to get on and do this and get back into it. I've been off for a while, so it's fun. And Dustin for putting it on, and you for broadcasting as always.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing you back out here, hopefully next Friday, and right back up here towards the front of the field, and be back up here in the broadcast booth next week.
For sure, looking forward to it.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy your weekend.
You as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Eddie Farnes. Is Eddie coming home there in position number 3 here on the Speedway, man. What a run, what a race, and what a drive there by each and every one of these competitors, man. Doing a fantastic job out there on the Speedway. Is Domain Sexton coming in with the like on the stream. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably getting it completely wrong, but another Sexton coming in showing the love. Kendall Northrop coming in as well with the heart reaction. Bionic Man coming in with the love as well. The like on the stream. Anthony Carp with the like and the share as well. Can't thank you guys enough, though. Everyone coming in showing the love here all evening long. All of the likes, all the comments, all the shares, man. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. If you haven't already, it's not too late to do it. Hit the like button on the broadcast. Hit the share button. Hit that follow and or subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube. And make sure you guys turn those bell notifications on, as we got another race coming up here in about an hour from, not even an hour from now, about half an hour from now. We'll be going back live again as we got the MNT Cup Series back in action here again tonight as well. So race number 2 will be coming up here shortly, and we'll be getting right into the racing action and having a lot of fun there with the NASCAR Cup cars. I do believe they are heading to, let me double check here. I'm not 100% sure, but I will make sure that we get to the right channel here. There we go. Schedule looks like we are heading to Talladega. Ooh, baby, Daga today. Okay, so that's going to make things very, very interesting. Heading to Talladega in the MNT Cup Series coming up next. So hit that follow, hit that subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. But I'll catch you guys all back here in the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
50,000 miles away, I still recall the words you said to me. 50,000 reasons to stay, but I just wanted you.